And you guys see my little legs walking here?
Yes.
I have a feeling that playback might not be a little bit of a problem. So I might have to scrub because I'm only seeing really two poses every now and again. So I will show you how I came up with this, and yeah, we can keep going if you're interested. Um, I'm animating on Harmony, um, which I enjoy. I think the other great one is TV Paint, um, but it doesn't matter. It's kind of like whatever you're comfortable with is the best. Turn these layers down. So as a way to demonstrate, I think I didn't use Preston Blair or Richard Williams per se, but I had them in mind. And I just used, since we're just starting out here, I used this line tool to create a line on my ground plane layer. Um, and if you hold down Shift, um, it creates a perfectly vertical line for you, which is kind of a nice feature. And then you can move it around as needed. Um, but so that's how I created that vertical line. This is my ground plane here. And I go over to this tool and I create an ellipse. I hold shift and it lets me make a perfect circle very easily. So I like to start with a contact position. Oh, I put this on the wrong layer. So you can just cut it and then paste it over here. And yeah, so I think starting crude is great. Um, maybe with the thicker line is great. Um, 25. Yeah, that's good. Nice and thick. All right. So yeah, so contact position here, just showing, this the leap of faith here. This is we can make it a little bit better while we go. Another thing you can do is if this is an eraser tool, if I add a break in the foot like this, then I can select these things and I can manipulate them using this tool, which might be useful to kind of make sure that the legs never change in length or that they don't change too much in length. So if I want to do that, like it's very obvious where the break is in this foot, but in this leg. Um, so yeah, so I can select this whole image here and then I can copy it. I can paste it on the next layer. And, this is my sort of cheat layer because it's showing me like what I already know that I'm trying to come up with, right? So if I'm trying to keep these feet the perfect length, I'd probably there I'm flattening the foot and then I'm moving it back based on this blue hash mark. I want it to be over here where the hash mark ends. And then with the foot, I want to angle it. And this keeps the length of this leg as accurate as possible. Say the hinge happens from the middle of the hips, just this circle here. And then, yeah, this right here, we're just gonna tilt this back, and we'll delete this foot right here, just so that we can create it faster this way. That's looking short to me, so I'm just going to make it longer because it feels short. And you can just play it later and see how that feels. You can drag things to make them longer. A lot of different ways to manipulate things. It's not just always drawing. So yeah, we can use this tool to cut shapes out. Yeah, so we've done the contact position, we've done a down position, and now we want to do a passing position. So what I did to measure this hash mark here is I had this on. This graph tells you exactly how far, to go to get to the next one. And I think that I started it at this midpoint, but it's two per. So this next one is right here. And then if it's got to be constant, right? Like the distance, we start with the distance from here, the heel, to the distance over here is going to be like 1 unit. And then we want to chop that in four. So here's the midpoint, and then here's, somewhere like in there. So that's, quarter, 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 quarter. And, this is where it is on the contact right here, contact position. And then here it is on the down position. And then it's over here on the passing. Yeah. I went by the hash marks here. Let's see which one's better. It's like I'm counting, yeah, it's about 1 3/4. Yeah. So passing, and then this would be the up position. So this is just creating the treadmill. How do we do it? This really helps me a lot. So if you want to keep the foot the same size as well, since it's going to be on the ground, it's good to copy and paste that. So we'll copy it and move it over. And then, we could even paste it again, since this one's in the air, and use that one so that we make sure that the 2 feet are the same size. So once we get 4 of these, then we can kind of figure out what the other 4 are doing as well. And we have right here, this is the hips. This is representing the hips. And I have it moving down a little bit more because this is the down position. So if we're going to exaggerate the motion, I think that's going to help us. And then this is the passing position. And then this would be the up position. Move it back here. Remember what we talked about with Richard Williams is if you wanted to have the foot down like this, it's not quite as realistic. It might be more cartoony, but like, this might be a little bit more of a realistic walk. We went that way. So now we're reaching the point of the walk cycle where it repeats. So we're going to paste this, and I have a layer here where I have shaded in. I'm just going to mute that layer so that we can kind of redo this and figure out how to do it again. So we have the contact, the down, the passing, and the up position. Let me add a little circle here. So this is the up position. And then contact again, right? So then the down again. So we copy it using this up here, and then you paste it. Oops. I'm going to paste it over on this frame, paste. And then we're going to go copy. This is going to be the passing position, paste. And then this is the up position, right? Copy and paste. So the idea we want to show, which Preston Blair does really well, is which leg is which, right? So one easy way to do that is to make sure that the colors of the treadmill are selected. So I use right for red and left is blue. So, this looks like the red here. And then these are my colors over here, blue, and then the blue. And it's off the page somewhere, right? This one is off the page, right? So now we have, I'm going to play this, but I think playback might only show you some of the positions. Because it's the relay is a little too slow. So we have contact, down, passing, up, contact, down, passing, up. So I'm going to shade in. I'm going to create a new layer using this button here, drawing. And I'm going to put it behind this layer that we just did. And I am going to use a color. Let's see. Use green. Let's use a different green. How about, this green. And I'm gonna make the brush a little bit thicker so that this doesn't take forever. And then we're just gonna pick we're gonna color in the back leg. So if left is for blue and right is for red, this is the leg that we're gonna see in the back, okay? So this is the, and you don't really have to be too clean because you're just trying to show which leg is which. So we're going to color this one in. This is the back leg. Okay. Okay, so, oops. So here I had a little mistake. I'm gonna move this over and then back leg, right? Yeah. So here we gotta make sure this is the back leg, so we don't show this right here. We're not gonna color in that area. And then also here, this is the back leg. This little hand tool just helps you move and reposition your drawings. But yeah, so let's review how it's going. We have the left is the front leg here. So we're going to go left, goes to the down position, the passing, the up position, and then the contact position again, and then the down position, the passing, and the up position. So extend exposure, let's get that all the way. And then now we can go back in and make this a little cleaner and use this eraser tool. And I can erase some of these lines so that, let's do something else here. Move this out of the way now. And I'm also going to turn this off for now. So I'm going to be the black outlines is the top layer, and I'm just going to be, whoops, I'm going to be undoing that green mark. We don't want that. I'm just going to be erasing the lines. It looks like I messed up a little bit here. We want to erase some of that green as well. So on the top layer, this black shouldn't be there. And then this too looks like that green we don't want. Erase this. And then we'll erase this green. Don't want that either. And more of these black lines that are just getting in the way of our clean image. Yeah. So let's review. We have a down. We have, contact, a down, passing. This passing looks like it could use a little bit of love. Give it some love there. Ooh, it's a lot of love. Okay. And then, yeah. So contact, down, passing, up, contact, down, passing, up. There's like a couple of spots here we could fill in. We ought to erase this. We don't need that. Okay. Yeah, so we got the legs going. I think that's doing pretty good here. contact, down, passing, up, contact, down, passing, up. So I think the next step is let's refer to our Preston Blair. I'm going to look at the presentation notes. Or actually, you know what? Let's go Richard Williams. I think that might be better. In particular, we're going to use the Richard Williams that has some hand positions because he does everything. And we're going to give the body a slight lean to it. Let's do this on a separate layer too, just so we can manipulate it easier. Let's give it a little bit of lean to it. All right, so I'm just going to move this kind of along with it. I'm just copying the same exact shape, pasting it. And then this looks like the passing, so we're going back up. And then this is the up, so I want to go up even more. We have to move everything down a little bit. We're on a space. And then contact. So contact. Down. Passing. Up. Yeah, this is looking. That up looks a little too up. Let's just stay consistent. I'm going to keep copying my previous poses. So well, let's see. Let's use the ellipse tool, or maybe let's give him a square head. Now I'm gonna use these lines here so I can keep this head exactly within the lines. And this is, you know, I might say cheating, but this is just tools. We're using the tools here. So copying this square shape, putting it in this block. When you copy and paste something, it's in exactly the same place. So we're gonna have to move it down. And we're just eyeballing it. I'm just essentially looking at this space here and making sure that the neck doesn't get too long, right? So copy, paste, and now we're on to the up position, I believe. There's the up, and then, oh no, this is the up. That was the passing. Yeah, that's why he is very tall. He's a very tall man. So if we run into a situation like this where we are running out of room and he's going to bump his head, we can move everything. So the way we do that is that we select everything and then we use this tool and we move it down. So I am going to delete those guidelines that I put in earlier. This is just so that I could keep the head moving in line. I just put those marks. So we're going to copy this. Copy this. This is the passing. And then this is the up. And if we've done everything correctly, he won't move when you go back between these two, nor will his head. Or we're jumping between contact positions, and his head is the same spot. Jumping between down positions, his head is in the same place. Jumping between passing positions. So let's see how this is kind of looking. We have our guy with legs and a torso and a head. You know what? We can delete all this stuff now too. I don't think we need that. Okay. Contacts down, passing, up, contact, down, passing, up. And I'll play it. Character's walking now. It's looking all right. I think based on your playback speed, I'm not sure you're going to see every position in perfect succession. But if I scrub, there we go. And his head doesn't move forward and it doesn't move back because we use those guidelines. And we've got our trusty Richard Williams. And Richard Williams is going to tell us where to put the hands. And I'm going to put the hands on a separate layer. And I am copying Richard Williams at this point. It is just, you can't argue with the master. And he has a little break in the hand like this. He also has another arm back here. And I'm going to draw these through because it doesn't really matter which arm is which, because we're going to use these arms to do the other arms, right? So we haven't used onion skin at all yet, but now might be a good time. Onion skin is just showing layers that are there. So if I wanted to see where the last layer was, this helps me know that looking at Richard Williams on my screen up here and also looking at the onion skin, this gives me a quick reference that the angle of the bicep is a little bit more, it's a little bit higher, and the hand is like a little bit further out. And then over here, same situation. The arm is, well, I'm seeing it like this. So, and I'm guessing we're going to change some of these things. You know, if I select this, I can drag the pivot over there, and I can change the angle of it. So then we have, turning off the onion skin, we have this position and this position. Contact, down, passing. The passing, it's like we're not even going to worry about the far arm. We're just going to show these two. Okay. And up. So the up, I'm running into a situation with my Richard Williams where I have to interpret because Richard Williams version, his up is actually his leg, and the Richard Williams version is like this. So I'm in a situation where I'm just to show this back arm, I have to put it in a place that just works, you know, where I can see a little bit of it away from the back. And this is the back arm. This is the front arm right here. Um, all right. So now we at least have four positions. Let's just copy paste them and let's see what we get. You know, contact, down, passing, and up. Okay. I'm going to play this. And I'm going to scrub through it just in case on Zoom you can't really see. So here's contact, down, passing, up, contact, down, passing, up. And on the same layer that we did, let's see, on the same layer that we did this green leg, let's do the green arm, the green lantern walk cycle. Um, so this looks like this one here. And then this one back here. And then we go this one. So just one more, and then we're gonna know what this looks like. All right. So we're gonna play it, and then I'm gonna scrub it. Contact down, passing up. Contact down, passing up. So we could add a little neck here. Not being as precise, but not every frame has to be exactly the same. Some, walk cycles, like this neck looks a little bit too narrow. There we go. Just kind of scrubbing our own way. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to repeat the steps we did earlier with um, erasing lines to reveal the arms that are forward and the arms that are back. I believe this is the channel that has all the arms and the neck. So I am going to erase this line and this line. See, that's part of the torso. And then we're going to erase this line. And this line. I'm going to erase, no, this is over here. There it is. And then it's on a leg. Okay. And then we're going to erase this line. Some of these, it's kind of hard to keep track of which layer they're on. Okay. All right. Now, torso line is ruining the illusion there. This line, ruining it there. We also have a little bit of the hips, circle that makes the hips. So we're going to erase the torso line here. And this arms line. And then here it looks to be the hips. And that might be it there. Here we got some torso in the way. And some this arm line. Yeah. So this looks like it's in the way. So yeah, let's play this and see how it's working. Play it. You know, how I'm feeling about it is that the down position, the arm seems a little too far out. Like, especially that you go all the way from this, which is the arms are fully extended. Um, you know, arms are all the way extended when they should kind of be a little closer before you get to that passing position. So when I play this, that's what I'm feeling. So really quick walk too. And we could try before we try messing with the positions, I might try adding a frame. Let me mute these other layers here. So what I mean by adding a frame is right now, this is like a Richard Williams style. It's a march and it's frantic. Like it seems like it should be a little bit more casual. So if I drag this one frame over and drag this one frame over, we're just adding a little bit more time to this every frame. So going from a march that repeats every 12, we're changing it to be that repeats every 32. So we went from 24 to 32. So let's play this again. But let me, got one layer. Oops. I forgot the green arm. Okay, I'm gonna watch this. Oh, we lost a ground plane too. I'm gonna have to add that back. That's easy. But this is feeling a lot better to me. And I will scrub through and show you guys what I'm talking about. Extend exposure. So contact down, passing up, contact down, passing up, contact down, passing up, contact down, passing, up. Yeah, I'm liking this a lot more at the speed, but I'm also feeling like that it's like there's this little extra motion at the beginning with the forearm. So I'm gonna try and do away from that, get away from that a little bit. It's in the down position that that's happening. So I'm just gonna try and take that out of it. I just need to change. I really just need to change 2 frames to do that. So, and it's going to be this frame. I mean, I'm going to have to erase some of this too. The green arm. Add it back in over here. And it's the down position. So down is right here. And let's do that again. Let's just change the angle. I'm dragging the pivot to the shoulder. Shorten that one. Dragging the pivot to the shoulder. And then this also, we want to erase this green and we want to re-green it inside the lines. I think that's better. Let's watch it. So contact down, passing up, contact down, passing up. Yeah, I'm feeling like this is pretty good. So I think that ought to get you guys started. And I'm going to stop share here and stop the recording as well. But I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you for coming to the workshop. And yeah, I hope Maria, Charlene, and Anthony, I hope you guys, you know, got something out of it. It's good to hang out with you all.
Thank you. It was very nice.
Yeah, my pleasure.
And you?
Yeah. So I look forward to catching up with you guys, online somewhere, maybe Pomeroy Art Academy or on the Discord group. But thanks for listening. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sure. All right. Have a great night, and I'll see you later.